everybody. This is the Red Shirt Waterboys podcast, and you may see that you can see us now. You're looking at me, Silas, and Evan over there.
I'm waving over here.
So fun. So we couldn't wait to get back. 2 weeks was just far too long to wait. So in actuality, we needed 3 weeks, not 2. So we're doing a little test episode for you guys, and I think we're going to post it on YouTube and all the other places that we edit videos on. So to start off today's podcast, we have to talk about the jersey I'm wearing, the team we're watching.
It's all in the background over there.
The Phillies are back, Evan.
They're boiling hot, if some would say. 8-2, best record in the league for the last 10.
Oh,
Wow.
It's fun. Fans are coming back to the stadium. We got the Mets, who I despise, and we are just beating up on the Mets right now. It is great. So the game is happening right now. I will try to give you updates if important stuff happens in the game. But I just want to talk about the team. I mean, This run, which looked like, here's another year of the bad bullpen. And
500 team, number one, the Phillies.
But here we are. We're getting hot at the right time, I would say.
True.
I think injuries obviously play a big role in baseball. A lot of teams that had star players go down during the trade deadline were, wheeling and dealing for replacements for those guys. But the Phillies, they stayed kind of quiet on trade deadline.
Yeah, they didn't make any massive moves, but they did make some.
They did. So I
was happy with the moves, too.
Yeah, they needed a starting pitcher for sure, and then they needed help in the bullpen, obviously. And they kind of found it all with one trade.
Yeah.
They traded Spencer Howard and some other prospects that we don't know to Texas. That's the Rangers, for those of you who don't know. To Texas for Kyle Gibson, who's a starting pitcher, and Ian Kennedy, who was the closer for the Rangers. Both have worked out so far.
They're
Knock on wood.
They're like average, slightly above average closers, which is what what the Phillies needed, really.
Exactly.
That's usually when they lose their 5-run advantage.
Right. And right now, I think they're rocking a 6 or 7 game win streak. And it started with Kyle Gibson, the new guy, in Pittsburgh, and has spanned across into Washington and now into the Mets series. And it has just been so beautiful to watch. I mean, it's comeback wins. It's blowouts. It's everything that is beautiful about baseball, the Phillies are doing right now.
And you and I are talking about it. The fans are responding.
Oh, yeah.
We were at our local watering hole, the Perk, and people were going wild at the bar.
Oh, it's
When's
great.
the last time you've heard a crowd of people go wild for the Phillies that aren't at the game?
Right.
Hardly ever.
Oh, it's great. It was one of those games where we were behind, and then we came back, but then we gave up the lead, and then we came back again, and it was just so fun. And you're right, we were all like, gather around the TV, huddled, watching the last couple outs, just to make sure that we would win that game. And it's been great. And now this is the first games back that we're in Philadelphia, and the fans have obviously responded, because last night they had 35,000 plus fans there. And now today they had Roy Halladay's, tribute and induction into the Phillies Wall of Fame. And I mean, huge crowd on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Playoff baseball, Evan?
Best 2 words in sports.
I was telling my coworkers the other day, because they're like, oh, what's so important about the Phillies and whatever. The Phillies have the longest playoff drought of any baseball team. And that might be crazy to think, like, the last time they made the playoffs, I think it was like 2011, 2012, something like
2010.
that.
2010. I think it was even farther.
Something like that. But, I mean, that doesn't sound like a long time, like 11 years. But to not get in the playoffs for that long, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that means, like, you never could, like, get to even the basic level of successful team.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think when you put it in context, because we'll talk about a little football coming up here, but when you put it in context with where the city was post-Sixers playoff run and pre-totally, unknown Eagles season,
they're
they're putting themselves in a good position to get a lot of people interested and excited about their team.
It's like it feels like the first time we've had 3 exciting teams.
Oh yeah,
in a little bit.
yeah.
Even
So
the Flyers were exciting, but
no, nobody's
the Flyers.
cares. Nobody cares. So transitioning then into a little bit about football.
A little bit. We had the first preseason game of the season.
I'm
excited. So excited.
Well,
the Eagles play this week.
they do. You're
Wow.
right. They're playing this week. Who are they playing? The Jets?
The Steelers at home.
Okay, so that's good. The
Yeah.
Steelers and the Cowboys just played on Thursday. They played the Hall of Fame game, which is Canton, Ohio, in front of all the new Hall of Famers and all that kind of good stuff. But
It was a bad game.
Not a great
It was
preseason game.
Well, I did like not seeing the Cowboys score any touchdowns. They had somebody rush, number 10, their quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
They had Ben DiNucci out there again.
Oh, yeah.
Why is he playing football?
Couldn't tell you.
Good to see football.
It was
back.
good to see
Yeah.
football. I'll say that, yeah. And it's cool, I'm sure, for those guys that don't get a chance to play in the regular season, to play, especially in Canton, Ohio. That's kind of a cool thing for them to do. But that game never is really interesting.
It's like a formality.
Yeah.
Is it better or worse than the Pro Bowl?
Oh, absolutely worse. Because
Really?
at least with the Pro Bowl, you get like some big names. Most of the big ones, they opt out or they don't go or whatever.
Yeah, because they're trying to win the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. But for most of the guys, it's at least I'm seeing a star player and not some guy who played at Eastern Montana State University for like 4 years or something. But yeah, preseason football. Do you put a lot of stock into it? Be honest. Go on.
I didn't before last year.
Okay.
I think last year the Eagles specifically suffered from not having preseason, just in conditioning.
No, they didn't do preseason
Yeah.
games last year. That's right. Yeah.
Which I don't know. Which I think we'll get into, but like whenever Carson Wentz has a successful season, he played in preseason.
He didn't even get to it this year, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I don't put a lot of stock into preseason at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an opportunity for the borderline guys to either make their case for the roster or lose out on the chance and get beat out by veterans. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of good too. I mean, we've both benefited from Jalen Mills.
That's true.
7th round pick.
That's true.
Kind of made his splash in the preseason.
Yeah, I think what the NFL did this year is they reduced the amount of preseason games, so it goes from 4 to 3 with the expansion of the regular season going from 16 to 17 games. But I don't know. I think that in that case, most of those players make their case within the first week or 2 of camp, so they don't really need 3 then games to prove it. I don't know. Preseason games to me have always been injury central. I mean, Julian Edelman tore his ACL in a preseason game.
True.
There have been countless guys that you count on for the regular season who get hurt in the preseason games specifically. So I'm not here for the preseason games, to be honest with you. But it is cool to see the guys that you're just drafted get an opportunity. And I think that's what you're most interested about for the Eagles?
Yeah, because we have a lot of like lower draft pick guys because this is a saver season for us. Like we're saving cap space because we have a quarterback we're paying that's not on our team.
Right.
But which is fine. I like that, and I like if things work out well, then you have probably 2 first round draft picks next year. And 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And you're right that it's kind of like a in-between season. Like they're seeing what they have with Jalen Hurts, obviously. And I think as hard as it's going to be for me to say, but like you're seeing what you have in Jalen Reagor. This is it. I think it's make or break for him.
Yeah. Apparently from the scouting reports I've been reading, is that he had like the catch of camp this week, which is pretty good.
He did. I don't know if you saw, but it was over Darius Slay.
Yeah.
One-handed, right on the tip of the ball, right on the nose, I guess I call it. But
good to see. But that's like this is the year for the Eagles where we decide if we're going into a rebuild.
Yeah.
Because if we do well, the championship door opens.
Right.
Because now you have so much more money to spend.
Yep.
You're about to lose a bunch of veterans.
Yep.
You have plenty of draft capital.
It
next
smells
year.
like rebuild, doesn't it? Though.
Yeah, but I think if everyone they've drafted and gotten in free agency do well this year, then you have a cheap, very good team, which is what you really need to win.
Yeah, I think that those veterans have been good in teaching the young guys, obviously, but I think that eventually they're going to have to go with the wayside. It's a very sad part of sports is when you have a winning team with guys that you love, and then you have to ship them off or you have to let them go.
Yeah.
And they go play for somebody else.
Fortunately, though,
I hate that.
I think that most of our age is wrapped up in the defensive line.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
those
is
are
both
the guys
fortunate and unfortunate. We haven't really
Right.
picked up anyone who's younger.
Yep.
But we also have guys who are outplaying their prime age, like Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox.
Oh yeah.
Josh Sweat, Hassan Ridgeway.
Yeah, there's but there's young guys in there. Like Josh Sweat isn't old.
Yeah, he's not that old. His third season.
Derek Barnett, he's not old.
Yeah.
Those guys could learn from a Brandon Graham or a Fletcher Cox, and then when they, either become too expensive or they get hurt and they're,
I
too
think those
old.
guys will retire here.
You think?
I don't see Fletcher Cox playing anywhere else. I see him even taking a hometown discount in quotes.
Sure.
But
it could be that way because those
Brandon tried to leave and he didn't want to.
Right. Those seem like the kind of guys that would do so and that would do it for the organization because they've always been treated well by the organization. Yep. So that's one part of the ball that I think is interesting. Now, the reports this week, there's been conflicting reports about this. And I know where you stand on it, but I just want to see, I just want to probe that.
Take the temperature.
A little bit. Yeah. There was a report early this week that talks were heating up for this Deshaun Watson character in Houston. But then a conflicting report came out later in the week. It said, these talks have gone nowhere. It's not substantive. So, I don't want him here. I don't want him anywhere near Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And if Howie is talking to the Texans about this, it just I don't like it.
See,
I don't like it.
The thing with Howie though is that he's always in every conversation, even if it's an email, a phone call.
Sure.
So you could spin that anyway. But it's interesting you say that because they have yet to name Jalen Hurts the starter.
Right. Nick Sirianni's also playing it very close to the chest.
So I wonder if that's just a strategic move, just in general, just make teams have to question and think about stuff. I don't want him to go get him either.
No.
I just think he's too expensive. I'm trying to look at it from an objective football standpoint. Unless Jalen Hurts is a total stinker.
Yeah.
I don't think, and you may not even get it. He might not even be able to play until 2023.
Right. You don't know what the NFL is going to do with the suspension. You don't know if there's going to be a suspension. He's obviously not happy in Houston, but I mean that ceases to matter if he's not going to even be able to play. For me, it's almost all character. You can't bring somebody like that into a locker room that is seemingly melding together. I think if you asked anybody on the Eagles right now, how's Jalen Hurts? How's this young guy? How's it? They're all glowing reviews of each other, and they seem to like each other. They seem to get along. So if you throw this guy into it, it divides a locker room. It's you either accept him for what he's done and he's here to help the team, or you're absolutely not. I don't want him anywhere near it. And I don't know why you would mess with the mojo that way.
Yeah, and people they're even liking they're buying into Nick Sirianni's corniness too,
exactly.
Which people were like, "Ooh, are they going to do that?" But
right.
I don't know. Usually, guys in Philadelphia with their coaches are pretty good.
Sure.
There's not a lot of, other than Chip Kelly, there wasn't a lot of fighting with coaches. But I agree with you that I'm trying to like that. I'm absolutely positively a no.
Right.
So I'm trying to look at it from a football perspective.
Right.
Because
And you're right, he's not cheap. If you do look at it
cheap.
purely from a football perspective, he's not cheap. Yeah, he's been good, but his teams have never been, great. He didn't do anything special without a great wide receiver.
Yeah. He's injury prone.
Yeah.
He's torn one ACL already.
So I'm just a hard no on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think the questions there, the results of the question marks for him are much worse than the results of question marks for what we have now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see what we have.
Sure.
Let them figure that out. If he's available for cheap as chips, maybe.
And that's not it doesn't seem like the Texans are in any hurry to trade him because he did report to camp even though he's pending
they upped the fines and you can't appeal the fines anymore for missing camp.
Right.
So that's like why Zach Ertz showed up.
Right. It's forcing their hands and it's causing the Texans to not be in any rush to trade him. So they need to be blown away with an offer, and I don't think the Eagles should go after that.
I think if he doesn't go to the Eagles, which also the media is like manipulating the sources and the he's definitely going to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go to the Broncos.
Okay.
I think that's where he wants to go.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'd fit in over there.
Interesting.
Kind of a quiet town for him to let this all blow over.
I don't know. I feel like that kind of stuff follows you, especially to this degree.
It certainly does. I think he's just like, I'll be in the mountains.
Yeah,
I can be away.
I don't know. I think his character is always going to be knocked now, which rightfully so, especially if all of it's valid.
True.
And
yeah, and I'm also trying to like keep the like innocent until proven guilty.
It's hard to when there's
it's
many,
hard,
right?
yeah.
To the degree that it's there's like 24 women now that have accused him of very similar things. All their stories seem to line
not
up.
Looking good. I'm not affording him any luxuries with that.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't want to trade for him.
I'm with you. Yeah, no, don't throw a wrench in it now. Now, the last time that we talked to you, the Olympics were just starting, I think.
Yes.
Now the Olympics are
over today.
They're over today. So let's talk about the Olympics. Did you have a favorite part? Did you watch a lot of the Olympics, Evan?
I didn't watch a lot of the Olympics. I did, obviously, the whole women's gymnastics thing.
Yes.
That happened.
Yep.
I was very involved in that or paying attention to that, not involved with that.
Tuned in.
That's the word I was looking for. Some of the other highlights that I saw. On Friday, I was watching the wrestling finals.
Okay.
Just because it was on at the place we went out to lunch for work. And the American guy who won the 125 kilogram
level, what's that called? Weight class?
Weight class, yeah.
Yep.
He was down by 2. It was 6 seconds. Because there's point system, which I don't know.
Yep.
Down by 2 with 6 seconds. The Georgian guy, Georgia, the country, was just playing defense. He's like, as long as I don't get pinned, I walk away with gold.
Right.
The American guy took him down in 6 seconds, got 3 points, 1 by 1.
Yep.
Wow, it was so cool.
He was so amped too.
Yeah.
Like he took the guy down. He gets up. He's like jumping all right. Like it's very exciting. And who wouldn't be? It's a gold medal at the Olympics.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Coming from behind to win.
That is cool.
The other one I watched recently was I watched the shot put final. It was basically a throw off between 2 Americans.
Yep.
Which is funny because the one guy won like every year at the World Championships.
Yeah.
And the other guy has won every gold medal.
Huh.
So of course the guy who won every gold medal won again.
Right.
Beat the Olympic record all 3 throws.
Oh my God.
Didn't hit the world record, but he threw it like 23 meters.
Jeez.
Like 70 something feet.
Yeah, I before the Olympics started, I always go through this, how impressive is it really? And you might be like thinking to yourself, Silas, how do you not think that any of this is impressive? And the simple answer is because they're all that impressive, right? Like even if you're watching track and field where it's 8 people or swimming where it's 8 people right next to each other, they're all at that elite level. Like they wouldn't be at the Olympics if it weren't for their elite athleticism. So I want to see like, okay, give me an average swimmer. What the heck would they look like doing the butterfly for this long? Like, what would their time look like? And I just keep going back to like, man, that's what would I do it in? How long would it take me to do that? And I think one of the fun things is, if you haven't seen it, Evan and I did the combine a couple times. We did like different drills and stuff.
A couple times.
Well, we did like different drills several times, and they didn't get better. So it gave me like a little slice of humble pie.
Oh yeah.
In terms of respect for these Olympians, because I could not do anything what they do. So throwing a shot put like 23 meters, you're like, okay, it's like throwing a ball 23 meters. But no. Like, this is something
it weighs
no
like 15
person.
pounds, and that's 23 meters, not 23 feet.
Right, exactly. You're like, oh, okay, 23 meters. And that's the other part. Like meters, how far is that? We don't really, it's not something in feet or inches where we're like, oh, it's so easy to picture.
You're like 2 meters tall.
I'm 2 meters. So, okay, so if you were to lay me out 12 times, throw it further than that. And it's like an 8-pound ball or something like that.
No, it's like a 15-pound ball.
15 pounds?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like 8 kilograms.
No, come on. No.
16 or 17 pounds.
A shot put ball is 15 pounds? 16 pounds.
I did shot put in middle school.
Wow,
you have to pretty competitive.
What was your record?
Well, the good would be getting over 20 feet.
Which is in meters about 6?
1.6 meters or 1.6 feet isn't a meter. Nope. That's kilometers to miles. Sorry.
No, it's like 3. It's
like 3 feet.
A meter stick and a yard stick are about the same for me. And I know which ones.
They're close.
Meters longer.
They're close. Yep.
But let's say it's like 3 feet. So if you're 20 feet, 21 feet would be 7 meters.
Yeah.
This person threw it 23.
And we were throwing a 12-pound ball.
Okay, so there you go. Middle school Evan, not an Olympian, but
2-time gold medal though. I did win 2 medals. Though.
Oh my God, good for you.
Both times our top shot putter was sick, so I was always the
sub.
Yeah,
the sub. He's pulling a Suni Lee.
I did
coming in and winning the gold.
What was annoying though?
Spoiler
is
alert.
that they if you were at the time, the rules were if you were in just a field event, you had to run a track event.
Yeah.
So I was in the 4th heat of the 100-meter run, and it was just the 4 Penridge shot putters.
Oh,
so
nice.
That was the slowest heat.
The other thing about these Olympic shot putters is like they're not like they're giant bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Like to throw like a small looking ball, you're like, okay, you don't have to be jacked, but they are all jacked. All of them are like,
but they're like
huge,
only muscle jacked.
Right.
Like, they're not like. Well, I mean, they're fit, but if you were to see them without their like arms exposed, you'd be like, that's just a big guy.
Right.
Like,
you'd be like, could be overweight, let's call it. But no, they are. I mean, you think Dwayne The Rock Johnson's big? No.
These guys are much stronger.
I'm talking like they look like they have balloons for muscles. That's what they look like. It's unbelievable.
And have you seen them throw? They're spinning around.
Oh my God.
How do you get that much mass to spin around?
We were also watching the hammer throw and the discus.
Yes.
Same kind of thing. These huge people are just spinning around in. I'm telling you, I could not do any of these sports because I would vomit. Like so fast and with such power that I'm like, okay, that would give me nausea.
When we were in middle school, you weren't allowed to do the spin throw.
Oh yeah, it was just
dangerous.
It was just like a push.
Yeah, you went backwards and then you like kind of like skipped on one foot and then threw. Yeah, and as long as you can do whatever you want as long as you don't go over that last board.
Yep.
But we weren't allowed to spin because they would put us in a batting cage.
Okay.
In case we would let go of the ball and hit somebody, and then they said no more spinning because someone let go of the ball and hit somebody.
Yeah, I think. Track and field obviously is one of the biggest televised events, and you know why that is. I couldn't tell you. America obviously they televise different events than other countries do, because obviously if another country has like an archer who's the best archer, they're going to televise that one. But I mean, America. I'm just looking at the medal counts here. As of right now, as it stands. The United States has 113 total medals. The next closest is China with 88. So we're more than 20 beating China. In medals.
Yes.
In gold medals, China beaten America the entire Olympics. Until the end. Because America just pulled ahead 39 gold medals to China's 38 gold medals.
Wow. Just by one?
So we lead in every single medal. Gold, silver, and bronze. And in total medals, obviously. So America dominating the Olympics once again. What was didn't we look it up like the last time America didn't win?
Didn't win, in quotes.
Didn't win the Olympics. It was like the 1940s or something, or 1930s.
Sure.
It's crazy. The American athletes just dominant.
We also bring the most athletes.
Are you tired of that though? I'm a little tired of it.
I liked
personally.
It felt more competitive this year. I will say that, like across the board.
Yeah.
Like you weren't like usually you're like the American guy's gonna win this,
right,
or whoever. But it's like, oh no, here comes the Russian Olympic Committee, or China is really competitive.
And I will say, I think it's because a lot of the heavy hitters have moved on. Michael Phelps, he's not there. So we had Caleb Dressel. Don't get me wrong, and he's great, and he had 5 gold medals or something crazy like that. And Katie Ledecky, also great swimmer.
Set records in every single one of her events.
Yeah, but like there was that girl from Australia that was really pushing Katie Ledecky, and there was that guy. I don't know if he was from Australia or where he was from, but he was really pushing Caleb, and they ended up winning. But I mean, it did seem more competitive. Same thing, like LeBron James, that like whole era of NBA players. They're not playing in the Olympics anymore. Now it's Kevin Durant, and it's like, ooh,
I was
more
gonna say,
competitive.
I would definitely not, because normally you call the basketball team like the original dream team,
right? Exactly.
But I didn't feel like this year was a dream team at all.
Absolutely not. By no standards was this a dream team.
They scraped by that gold medal this year.
Yeah, and they got pushed, but they did end up winning. Same thing I would say with gymnastics. Simone Biles was the last of her generation of gymnasts. She didn't compete for most of it, but then they still end up having Suni Lee, but she was pushed, and it was a nail biter till the last minute. So I think it is refreshing to see,
competition.
Different. I want some small countries. I would say the best moment for me during the entire Olympics was we were watching. So my family goes to the beach every year. Okay?
Yes,
and this year for whatever reason they're like, oh, it's the Olympics. Let's all pick a like small country that's not represented a ton. So we all picked countries and whatever. And we would like look for those countries, and they'd be like, oh, Liechtenstein only has 6 athletes, and they're all, synchronized swimmers or something like that. And there was one, my aunt actually, her country was Tuvalu, and they only had 2 runners. It was like a 100-meter runner and a hurdles runner or something like that. And one night we were watching the Olympics, and lo and behold, here's this Tuvalu runner. And we're like, oh my gosh, we hope she wins. She's like 5'4" or something. Everyone else is like 6'3", like long legs. And we're like, okay, this is not setting up to be good. Well, she ended up getting like 6th or 7th in her heat, so she didn't end up advancing or anything. But man, we were screaming. We were yelling for this girl. I think her name is Maddie or something. And I mean, we were screaming and yelling. Well, she emailed the like Tuvalu Olympic Committee. And she's like, hey, just wanted to let you know that like we all picked these countries and we were really cheering for your athletes. We're proud to, cheer for them. And they emailed her back. The country of Tuvalu emailed her back and said, thank you for supporting our athletes. We're sending you guys all like Tuvalu Olympic pins.
What?
Is that not crazy?
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Why didn't I do this?
Just pick a small country. Just be like, with like 3 athletes. Yeah, there you go. I was like, that's crazy that they got back to her.
Yeah.
About the 1 or 2 athletes that they had. It was crazy. It was great though.
Yeah. Similar to that, did you watch the men's high jump final?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It was down to an Italian guy, and what was the other country? Qatar.
Yeah.
And they were neck and neck. They were trading blows, and they both failed on the highest beam.
Sure.
And the official came over and was like, hey, we can do this in a jump off. Just keep going until someone messes up. Or you guys can share the medal and each get a gold medal. Mm-hmm. And they did that, and both of them, the Italian guy's jumping and screaming. The other guy runs to the crowd, gets the Croatian flag. Like,
it
was so cool.
I The Olympics is one of those sports that, or one of those sporting events that it's like a unifying thing.
Yeah.
And like even though everyone's representing their country, I think personally it's less about the country and more about like the athlete and their story and how they got here and like all that kind of good stuff. And those stories are the best ones, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, hey, great competitors from two different sides of the world, and we're gonna like, wow, I respect you, you respect me.
You guys are
Let's, like,
the best in your sport, and you both get to share a gold medal.
And I mean, how many times haven't we seen like two titans go at it, and you're like, why does one of them have to lose?
Yeah.
Like, I wish that they could, be in it together and just say, wow, those were the two best at the time,
Yeah.
right?
And then even think about it. They just brought another guy up to get a bronze medal.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of being, it's just the Olympics. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
yeah. Now that's a collector's item I need.
A medal.
A medal. I would take anyone. Out there, putting this out. If you have a gold, silver, or bronze Olympic medal,
Just collecting dust in
just
your
collecting dust. You don't want it anymore, or
I don't know about that.
People sell their Super Bowl rings. Like,
Yeah, if they're like broke and they've not mismanaged their.
some people sell their gold medals. I bet there's a gold medal for sale somewhere.
That's
Is
it.
it fake?
I'm gonna buy you a fake gold medal and just tell you.
If you're
going
gonna
to
buy me a fake one, buy me the one from the Vancouver Olympics. That's
here
my
we go.
favorite one.
How do you have a favorite Olympics? They're all the
no,
same.
No, they're not my favorite Olympics. It's my favorite medal.
Oh, the back
The
of it is
summer
weird
ones
or
are
something?
worse. They are worse. The
Because
winter
they don't have like snowflakes on them and stuff.
No. It's because they have to have like the Olympic seal on one side, which is always a circle.
Yeah, it's like the lady with the torch.
Yeah,
and
and they can't like do much on the other side. The winter ones, it can be whatever they want.
How'd they get away with that?
I don't know. Like the winter ones, the one that I'm talking about, it looks like it's like wavy, and it has like cool tribal designs on it for the Vancouver one. It's so cool.
Interesting.
That's the medal I would want.
I didn't know. I knew that the Summer Olympics is always like one side is like, host country kind of thing, and then the other one is always the same,
torch,
the torch lady and the rays of sunshine or whatever it is. Yeah. I didn't know that though.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's very cool. Piece of memorabilia. Well, that's a hard word to say.
Piece of memorabilia
that I would never have.
Of memorabilia.
Memorabilia. Memorabilia.
Now, we did mention basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Double gold for us.
Double gold for us. And one of the players for the U.S. this year was Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Zach LaVine?
Yes, I'm familiar.
Okay, Chicago Bulls shooting guard.
Yeah.
Probably the best Chicago Bulls shooting guard they've ever had.
Right? Oh, I don't think that's true.
Oh, who am I missing?
I think his number was 23.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he was pretty good. 6-time MVP.
You're right.
Finals MVP.
Now that you say he was pretty good.
He was very good. Some would call him greatest of all time.
So Zach LaVine, great player, great shooting guard. Mm-hmm. He got some help. NBA free agency opened up, and people couldn't wait
this free
to leave their
has
teams.
Been insane,
unbelievable. In the first 2 days, there were 20-something transactions that happened between teams. It was a frenzy on Twitter, on all sorts of social media platforms. And one of the big teams that I would consider a winner would be the Chicago Bulls. I think they got better. They signed Lonzo Ball away from the Pelicans. And then they also signed, it was a sign and trade, but they signed DeMar DeRozan away from the San Antonio Spurs.
Your San Antonio Spurs.
I just want to say, DeMar, thank you for coming to the San Antonio Spurs and treating us well. Good luck in Chicago. Anyway, so I would say they are one of the big winners. Now, one of the big losers... Sixers?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, you don't think so?
No.
Now, Dwight Howard's gone.
That's... Who we get?
Andre Drummond does sign with the Sixers.
I think that's a wash.
That's a wash, okay.
Yeah. Andre Drummond is a better basketball player, even though his measurables are worse than Dwight Howard. But I think he's where he is in his career is better.
Yeah.
So
So
I'll call that an even split.
even split. Okay, that's fair. Then I would say, okay, we have a long drive to center field. Oh, it's caught. Never mind. Caught on the warning track. Sorry
It was
about
a little
the.
hurt.
Yeah, it's all right. Brad Miller, what a guy. Anyway, yeah, no, the Sixers. Danny Green does come back.
That's
Thank
good.
goodness.
I thought he was gone.
Man, I love Danny
honestly.
Green. But Ben Simmons is still here.
Now, don't say anything yet. The rumor mill, the Ben Simmons rumor
Oh, here we go.
machine is, you can see the smoke from 3 miles away. It is firing up.
It is.
So the current situation
Yes, please break it down for the people.
is that, one, Ben Simmons moved to L.A.
Right.
He bought a $10 million house, has no basketball court in it.
Right.
That seems like the worst thing you could do as a basketball player.
Well, I don't know. Like, if you're a doctor and you make millions of dollars, and do you have a
Yeah, but
doctor's office
but
in
the
your house?
difference is if you were a doctor and did that, and your last appointment was you killing somebody, you should probably go practice, right?
Maybe you go back to school.
Yeah,
you know?
if you're slicing and dicing and you slice the wrong thing, or you are about to cut the right thing and you quick hand off the scalpel to somebody else,
Sure.
and they get fouled, and
Right.
and you have to slice twice. And you only
Everyone's
slice
being
once.
sued. Everyone.
Is this analogy?
You lose your
work?
house. I don't know. I'm just saying.
But yeah, so he's over there. Rumor has that he is not talking to the Sixers.
Right. He's doing all the communication through Rich Paul.
Yeah,
Which is his agent.
Which is fine. That's probably what he should do.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's also rumors that freaking Damian Lillard
Dude,
is going to come to the Sixers.
I don't think that they are going to get Damian Lillard. Here's why. I think that Daryl Morey wants to run it back with Ben one more time. He tweeted out that picture of the starting 5, highest efficiency rating, and it's the 5 that they had last year. And they brought Danny Green back.
Yeah.
Specifically to keep that 5 together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he does want to have Ben give it another go, but it seems as though Ben is done. He wants out. He said he wants to go to Golden State, but he doesn't have much leverage.
No,
so
there's nobody they're going to give up that's going to be a plus to us. The Sixers are not going to trade him unless it's an upgrade.
And I just want to get this out here. Ben Simmons, give me a break, buddy, because you want to go to Golden State. Why? So you can be surrounded by shooting so that yours doesn't look so bad?
That's exactly why I want to go.
Why do you think Draymond Green's there? He can't shoot for anything, and he gets disguised because the Splash Brothers are there. What better? I would say the discount Splash Brothers are literally one of the guy's brother, Seth Curry, and Danny Green. Is that not discount? Be better, Ben Simmons.
I don't know. This is like one of the weirdest situations I think the Sixers have been in a little bit.
I cannot stand the entitlement that this guy has. You missed the free throws. Why are you making it our problem?
Because he doesn't take criticism. That's obviously shown because Doc has been on his side. Glenn Rivers has been on his side.
He has
this
been
entire year.
A little bit of an enabler, but towards the end, when he's like, "Oh, this is going to cost me," because Doc, Doc's like, "Oh no, now the media's coming for me. Like this might cost me a job here."
I'm hoping he pushes the pedal on him, but
he doesn't want to talk to anyone.
He might be on vacation now. Like I could see Ben Simmons being like, "Don't talk to me. Basketball's over right now."
You know
Even
what?
though he's going to practice. But
Okay.
I'm not sticking up for him because he's a total turd right now.
Right. Like, who won the championship this year?
The Bucks.
Okay, who was their best player?
About that, Giannis.
Okay, what did Giannis do when he gets eliminated from the playoffs? Because of his free throw shooting.
Worked on it.
Or because of his three-point shooting.
Yep.
Or because of his game.
Mm-hmm.
He works on it.
Yep.
Immediately. He's like, that's my bad, guys. I'll take it. For my teammates, for the city of Milwaukee who took a chance on me, for all these guys. No, Ben Simmons has been told since high school that he would be the number 1 pick in the draft. He goes to LSU, doesn't work on crap, gets hurt, gets the number 1 pick in the draft. Now he's here, and we're telling him, "Oh, you're great, Ben Simmons, you're great." He's been coddled his whole life. I'm so sick of the people like this coming in the NBA, and then they don't work, and then Giannis works, and we're like, why couldn't you be like him? Why? Because Giannis had to move out of Greece, okay, to come play here, and the Bucks took a chance on him. Don't get me wrong, they did. But now you see Luka Doncic, same thing. He was good overseas. He comes here, he works on his game, and now he's great. Ben Simmons, still garbage.
I mean, look at their own team. Joel Embiid started playing basketball, 10 years ago?
Yeah, and Bill Self at Kansas took a chance on him.
Yep.
And
the
now
dude
he
should have won MVP.
Exactly. Oh, hey, guys, my three-point shooting's just not good enough. Okay, Joel. And now it's great. Yeah. He works on it.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons doesn't work on jack, and that's not the kind of thing that Philadelphia likes at all.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Like, if they were deciding, he'd be gone.
Would you cheer for him? Be honest.
This year?
Yeah, would you cheer for him?
If he turned it around, yes. But if he looked the same, I'd boo him.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous because if they do bring him back, if he even wants to come back, because if you haven't heard, we're in the era of player empowerment where the players have the power and not the owners.
This is your the basketball fact of the day.
So given that fact, is Ben Simmons going to be able to, hold out and not play any games and breach a contract? Mayhaps.
I think Daryl Morey is willing to. If Ben doesn't want to, he's going to send him to.
He's not going to send him for peanuts, though, because the price for Ben Simmons right now, 4 first-round picks.
They're not going to have 4 first-round picks.
They're not going to get one. He's the worst one. Giannis was like a late first-round pick.
Yeah.
And he's worse than Giannis when he came into the league.
I don't know. I think they're really trying to hold out for Damian Lillard. Or, get this. Dream trade.
Dream trade.
Ben
this
Simmons,
is Evan's dream
3
trade.
first-round picks.
Yes.
Who am I else? Tobias.
Oh, no.
Get this big trade going.
4.
Damian Lillard comes back. Bradley Beal comes back.
Oh,
see? Now that's a championship team.
You're losing. I will say this.
Yeah.
I would pick one or the other. Keep Tobias because his size is going to matter.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like both those guys.
See, that's a good trade.
You know what Bradley Beal does? He works. You know what Damian Lillard does?
He works.
He works.
Yeah. I think Daryl Morey.
Yes.
I forgot I can address you directly. If you're listening, please try this trade. It's right here. Edit this into my hand, the trade.
So, like Matisse, you don't want to give him up.
No,
You don't want to give up Maxey.
See, the thing that I think really helped the Sixers this year is their bench was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was better than it has been.
Yeah. So I don't want to give up the bench yet.
I mean, George Hill's gone. Like we said, Dwight Howard's gone, but
Mike
get
Scott's
Andre Drummond.
gone.
Mike Scott is gone.
We just got
I don't know who else. It's Furkan.
Yep.
Signed him.
Yep.
Maxey.
Yep.
Matisse, who played fantastic in the Olympics for Australia. I mean, I was cheering for Australia.
Did you see
to win?
Hold on. Did you see Damian Lillard took a picture with one singular player?
Yeah, Matisse Thybulle. I did see that.
Thybulle.
I did.
Of the Philadelphia 76ers. Huh?
Little budding friendship?
Maybe a little roommates?
I don't know, man.
Come
I don't
on.
know. Could be. Yeah, I don't know.
got my ear to the ground, man. I'm boots on the ground for this trade.
There's a fly in the studio.
We need to get out of the studio.
Well, here's another thing. So, I think that's probably good for sports talk, right? So now I'm going to address you, the listener. We will be moving studios. Now, I don't know if we'll be doing camera work for this studio, but we will be moving studios. We'll have all state-of-the-art equipment. It's going to be great. So you're going to get all of that in season 2.
The podcast is growing.
It's growing. It's expanding. More and more people are hearing about it. More and more people are getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting. But you right there, you on the other side of this computer screen or whatever you're watching this on, you're on the ground floor. It can only go up.
Well, they're on a table right now.
You're on it. Well, tripod.
Yeah. Also coming up,
Yes.
the continuation of the Red Shirt Waterboys PGA Tour.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I can't wait to get back on the greens, back on the links. It's not really links then. It's just greens.
Yeah. Other things that are coming up, kind of a little teaser for you guys, is I think we're going to be doing a fantasy football league open to the public.
That'll be great. Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
So Evan and I will obviously have teams, but anybody is welcome to join. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
With the fantasy football league.
Yeah. The only requirement is that you set your lineup and you participate in the draft. You could do nothing else and just set your lineup and ignore it
And
for
call it a day.
18 weeks.
We just, it's one way to interact with the fans directly. We can have little group chat, something like that.
A little Discord.
Discord, yeah, something fun. But yeah, I think that's fun. I have several leagues, so this
What's one more?
But here's the thing: if the Red Shirt Water Boys fantasy league turns into like what I want it to turn into, that's like the Super Bowl.
That's
okay,
center stage.
and then all these other leagues, they become
Bush League.
they become whatever. What for? But this league, this is for real. We're not playing for anything special. It's just for fun and maybe a trophy or something.
Maybe a little merch at the end of it or something.
Yeah, a little something. But that's it.
You got to win it to get it. What if we win it?
Well, then we get the trophy.
True.
First of all, if I'm playing, I will win it.
Yikes.
Second of all, there's no way you're going to win. So,
me or the listener?
The listener.
Okay.
Oh, here's something fun. My draft auto-drafted for my other league, and I got Devonta Smith.
Nice.
Dropped him already.
What?
I dropped him.
For who?
Sterling Shepard from the Giants.
Yikes.
It was worth it. He was like
Giants
projected
player.
0 points, and I'm like, I don't know if that's because the NFL's point projection uses like former seasons and whatever, because obviously he's a rookie. But I'm like, I don't need any of that. I'm good.
Interesting.
My auto draft was pretty good. They got me DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones.
That is pretty good.
Pretty good. Right off the bat.
Yeah.
And Justin Herbert.
Josh Herbert.
Dang it! Is it Josh?
I don't know which one is real. I just wanted to bring up the other one.
Josh? Justin. It's Justin. I know it is.
Okay, it's Justin.
Oh
I just
my
want to.
You got me.
Sorry.
So nervous. But anyway, thank you for joining us. This was the experimental first video podcast.
Yeah.
If it works, we might keep doing it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't,
never see us again.
you'll be able to hear us, obviously. But maybe not see us.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Have a great August.
2 weeks? Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna
August.
be a while before we see you again, but that's okay.
24th.
The 24th will be the next podcast.
Yeah.
Today is the 8th. And when it releases, it will be the 14th, 15th, something like that.
We'll figure it out.
Not great with dates. The Red Shirt Water Boys podcast. Need a refill? Listen to past shows by subscribing to our podcast feed. Stay in the loop by following us on social media. On Twitter, @redshirt_pod. On Instagram, redshirt_waterboys. Or just email us at redshirtwaterboys@gmail.com.